Welcome back to Reviews Inside TV, where we cut through the hype and get straight to the truth about the gear that matters. Today, we're taking a closer look at a lens that's been making waves in the world of full-frame mirrorless shooters, the Sony FE 24-70mm F2.8 GM II. No frills, no fuss, just a hard look at what this lens actually offers. It's a standard zoom with a constant f2.8 aperture, designed for Sony's full-frame E-mount cameras. According to Sony, this is the world's lightest full-frame f2.8 24-70mm lens, and they've packed it with their top-tier optics and autofocus tech. But let's find out what that really means in practical use. The FE 24-70mm GM II is built to be a workhorse lens. With a focal length range from wide 24mm to short telephoto 70mm, it's meant to cover everything from landscapes to portraits and event coverage. It features a constant f2.8 aperture throughout the zoom range, allowing for solid low-light performance and shallow depth of field. Internally, it's stacked with premium elements: 2XA, extreme spherical, 2ED, and 2 Super ED glass elements to control aberrations and deliver sharp results edge to edge. Add in a floating focus mechanism, and this lens promises optical consistency at any distance. Autofocus is driven by 4 XD linear motors, promising speed, silence, and reliability even during high-speed burst shooting or 4K 120p video. Setting it up on a Sony A7R Vive, the lens instantly impresses with its weight, or rather, the lack of it. At just under 700 grams, it feels surprisingly nimble for a fast aperture standard zoom. It balances beautifully on full-frame mirrorless bodies and never once felt front-heavy during long handheld sessions. I used it in a range of real-world scenarios: portrait work in controlled lighting, fast-paced street photography, even documentary-style video capture. Autofocus is rapid and locks on effortlessly. In a portrait session, eye tracking stuck like glue even at f2.8. In video, focus breathing is impressively minimal, noticeable only in the most exaggerated focus pulls. Sony's breathing compensation worked seamlessly. The manual zoom and focus rings have satisfying resistance and are buttery smooth. But one drawback I noticed: the aperture ring, while tactile, can be a bit too easy to nudge unintentionally if you're working fast. That could be a deal breaker for some run-and-gun shooters. Let's get into the pros and cons. On the plus side, exceptional optical performance, sharpness wide open, beautiful bokeh, and excellent contrast. The weight savings are real, and when you're hiking or shooting handheld all day, that matters. Autofocus is lightning fast and silent, especially useful for hybrid shooters. Build quality feels premium and weather-sealed. As for the cons, the price point is high, especially for enthusiasts. That aperture ring could use a slightly firmer detent to prevent accidental changes. And while it's lighter than its predecessor, it's still not small by mirrorless standards, particularly once you add filters or a lens hood. Now, before we dive deeper, quick reminder: if you're finding this breakdown helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to Reviews Inside TV, and tap that bell so you don't miss the next hands-on review. We've got a lot more gear on the way. Back to it. Does this lens justify its premium price? Considering the performance it delivers in both stills and video, the answer is mostly yes. You're paying for high-end glass, fast AF motors, and Sony's best optical engineering. For working pros or serious hobbyists who demand speed, sharpness, and flexibility, this lens absolutely brings value. But if you're just stepping into full frame or don't need f2.8, there are more affordable options that still perform admirably, albeit without the creamy rendering or silent autofocus. Compared to similar lenses like Sigma's 24-70mm f2.8 DG/DN Art, it's lighter and has better autofocus performance, especially in video. The Sigma comes in at a lower cost and still offers strong image quality, but it lacks Sony's linear motors and breathing compensation features. The older GM version? Still great optically, but heavier, slower AF, and less refined overall. So the GM II earns its spot as the more advanced option, but it's not the only game in town. Build-wise, this lens means business. Magnesium alloy construction, weather sealing, and a slick, matte finish that resists smudges and minor wear. Over time, users report excellent durability. I haven't owned this long enough to speak to years of abuse, but based on the materials and Sony's track record with GM lenses, longevity looks promising. Now, I didn't need to contact customer support for this review, but Sony's reputation is fairly solid in this space. Repairs are pricey, but handled professionally. If anything, Sony's challenge is availability. Some GM lenses can be hard to find in stock, especially around launch. If you're looking for a more budget-conscious alternative, Tamron's 28-75mm F2.8 G2 offers good performance for a lot less money, though it lacks the edge-to-edge sharpness, weather sealing, and pro-level autofocus of the Sony GM II. You sacrifice some optical finesse, but for many shooters, that trade-off is worth it. So here's the bottom line. The Sony FE 24-70mm F2.8 GM II is a high-performance, lightweight standard zoom built for professionals and demanding creators. It's optically stunning, mechanically smooth, and autofocus is a dream. It's not cheap, and it's not for everyone. But if you shoot fast-paced events, high-res portraits, or high frame rate video and want a lens that delivers across all fronts, this one absolutely meets the mark. It fulfills its promises and then some. But if you're more casual or on a tighter budget, you may find better value elsewhere. Thanks for sticking around to the end of Reviews Inside TV. If you're ready to check it out, the link's waiting in the comments box. Have questions about the lens? Already own it and have thoughts? Drop them in the comments. I always love hearing from fellow gearheads. Till next time, stay sharp, shoot smart, and remember, here at Reviews Inside TV, the only zoom we believe in is when the truth gets closer.